It's 4 a.m. and the anniversary of one of the most infamous unsolved murder cases of Finnish history. The tragedy took place at Lake Bodom in Espoo, and I'm driving there now to the exact location within the exact time window. If you're not very familiar with the case, or you want to see a few related locations, join me on the drive. Otherwise, we'll meet at the Lake Bodom. June 4th, 1960, 4 teenagers went camping by the lake. 2 boys and 2 girls, with 2 motorcycles, 2 bottles of liquor, and 1 old and small tent. They stayed up late into the night, but eventually everyone crammed into the tent to sleep. On June 5th, somewhere between 4 and 6 a.m., someone brutally attacked them while they were sleeping inside the tent. It resulted in the immediate deaths of Anja Tuulikkimäki, age 15, Seppo Antero Boisman, age 18, and Maila Irmeli Björklund, age 15. They were laid to eternal rest at this church. One of the campers survived. Nils Wilhelm Gustafsson, age 18, was taken to Töölö Hospital in Helsinki. This building no longer functions as a hospital. The local police arrived around midday from Leppävaara, not far away from where I'm now. It was later joined by the National Bureau of Investigation. The way the police handled the case has later been criticized on several respects, although partially it just reflects the practices of the time. The crime also happened on Pentecost Sunday, a Christian holiday. Because of that, many officers were off duty and it took time to reach them. People also gathered to the crime scene almost like it was a tourist attraction. It ended up disturbing the site. There has been several suspects over the years. One of the most notable ones is Hans Assmann, a German-born naturalized Finnish citizen. Assmann has been linked to several murders, though not verified. He was also suspected of being a KGB agent. He lived just a few kilometers from the crime scene and matched eyewitness descriptions of a man seen in the area. Assmann arrived at, or was brought to, the Helsinki Surgical Hospital the next day following the murder in the evening. He was unconscious, though this appeared to be feigned. There were red stains on his clothing and dirt under the fingernails. Assmann asked for paint thinner, and when the hospital had none, he spent the night washing his hands with gasoline instead. His behavior at the hospital was generally strange and erratic. He insisted on staying there for several weeks while complaining of stomach pain. Hospital staff made reports to the police, but they didn't feel that the police responded properly. For example, the red stains on his clothing weren't examined. It took 3 years to examine him more thoroughly. Assmann was then found in Sweden, hiding sweaty in a wardrobe. No solid evidence has been found against Assmann. The red stains may have been related to him painting in the Vallila district of Helsinki before he went to the hospital. Assmann passed away in 1998. The second main suspect is Valdemar Gyllström, a local kiosk owner known to hate campers and motorcyclists. He hated them so much, in fact, that he had cut open tents and even fired warning shots with a gun. This is him sitting next to his kiosk the day after the crime. Even locals were afraid of him. He was known to carry a metal pipe in his boot and a knife on a belt. Gyllström had an alibi provided by his wife, but the current view is that she gave it because she was afraid of him. According to local accounts, Gyllström confessed to the murders to neighbors more than once. On one occasion, a neighbor said, "If you're really a murderer, then stab me too." And he did. After his final confession at Lake Bodom, he said something along the lines, "Watch me dive for the last time." And he never resurfaced. Gyllström drowned in '69. Like many details in this case, these stories can't be verified. This is where Gyllström's kiosk once stood. I'll return here later on foot. One thing the campers bought here was Jaffa, a well-known Finnish orange soda. It seems they bought it to dilute booze. The third main suspect was Nils Gustafsson, the only survivor. In Finland, a murder case doesn't expire, and so he was arrested 40 years later. The following year he was found not guilty because there wasn't enough evidence. Gustafsson received 45,000 euros in compensation. However, the damage to his reputation had already been done. Gustafsson's girlfriend, Björklund, suffered the most severe injuries, and when she was found, she was naked on the lower body. The boys had even optimistically brought condoms with them. There's a Finnish saying that roughly translates as, "If you don't have a sweetheart by Pentecost, you won't have one all summer." And so, there were headlines in the national media. Prosecutor: Gustafsson killed because he didn't get sex, with capital letters. Some speculated that Gustafsson's injuries had been exaggerated and he actually got them from a fistfight with Boisman. Maybe Gustafsson, after one too many Jaffa cocktails, sought revenge and staged the scene to look like an outsider attack. Another suspicious detail was that he had reputedly said, "What's done is done. I'll get at most 15 years. Gustafsson wasn't able to provide decisive help to the investigation either. He had lost his memory of the attack. He was even hypnotized later that same year in an attempt to recover his memories. Outside Gustafsson's home, there was a sign stating, "Private property, no entry for journalists." We are close now. It's around 4:20 a.m. The sun rose around 4, but it never gets completely dark at this time of the year. I have never been here before. One of the eyewitnesses was roughly in here. A 14-year-old boy had come out fishing around 4 a.m. Around 6 o'clock, he saw a man walking about 50 meters away. He didn't hear anything suspicious at any point. You can only see the middle peninsula from here, and the incident happened on the easternmost one. The fishing boy was also hypnotized in the hopes of more detailed memories. The crime scene is on the peninsula on the right. See the man in the woods? He said he collects litter on his early morning walks in an IKEA bag. It was already quite full. What a champ! He also informed me that this plant is related to roses. This is it. I believe this is the red-stained spot. The attacker cut the tent ropes so that it collapsed on top of the sleepers, forming a trap. Only Gustafsson got outside of the tent. The attacker used a knife and a blunt object, such as a stone or maybe even a metal pipe. None of the eyewitnesses heard any screams. It must have ended quickly and in shock, their final view as beautiful as a picture. It was a warm summer morning, possibly quite similar to this one. At least the boys had been fishing in the lake. They also went swimming. Since it was early summer, the water was probably cold, like the sausages they had as a snack. On the opposite shore, there was an eyewitness standing on a pier. I'll walk over there later. The fishing boy was back there. My pointing was a bit haphazard. Quite a lot of items were taken from the victims, mostly minor things. Wallets, swimsuits, a towel. 2 pairs of shoes and motorcycle keys were also missing. That could sound like someone wanted to make it harder for them to get help. Only the shoes have been found. I'll walk later to the area where 1 pair was found. It's almost 5 a.m. and the morning red is fading. Around 6 a.m., 2 boys came to watch birds. The peninsula is over there. They saw a man leaving and caught a glimpse of the tent area, but didn't realize what was going on. While walking, I almost squished this little guy. It jumped to safety at the very last moment. This is actually video, not a photo. The frog didn't even blink for the full 21-second clip. Hopefully I didn't shock it too much. I am checking the changing booth now. This was my starting point. Next, I'll explore the surrounding area. The beach as it is has been created by bringing here a ton of sand. Between 4 and 5 a.m., a woman was rinsing laundry at a pier. She saw 2 men on the peninsula, but she was quite far away. I filmed this from a newer pier. There's another pier on the left from which the eastern peninsula is actually visible. The woman doing laundry was the estate manager's wife, and this was the estate's barn. I've taken my time and it's now 5:45. The murder took place on the grounds of Oittaa Manor. I assume the area got its name from this estate. In Finland, it was common to name a new village after the main estate in the area. The original main building burned down though, and this one was built in its place in 1916. The area obviously wasn't anything like this back then. It was probably mostly farmland. Now it's a popular outdoor recreational area with plenty to do. There is no sign or memorial at the crime scene. It does, however, have a nickname. Murder Peninsula. Finns are familiar with the case, but not necessarily the exact location. Despite its history, Murder Peninsula is also just a place among others. People haven't forgotten, but life has moved on. It's time to refuel. I had been waking up earlier than usual for several days to get more used to waking up this early. Because of that, I was really tired and feeling a bit nauseous. I put my heartburn and soul into making this video. The victims were discovered at 11 a.m. by a man heading out for a morning swim. The police was here in about an hour. The surviving victim, Gustafsson, also needed ambulance service. The man called for help using a telephone at the waterworks building. I wonder if this could be the one. It's not far away. Back in 1960, Espoo didn't have a general emergency number. There were only ordinary phone numbers for different authorities. You had to know where to call. I'm now walking toward the place where the shoes were found. I came from there. That's the parking lot. As I mentioned earlier, the boys' shoes had been taken. One pair was found maybe somewhere to the left of here, though I'm not very sure. The distance was a little over half a kilometer from the crime scene as the crow flies, and a bit farther by road or trail. Next up is Gyllström's kiosk, which the campers had visited. There's the road I drove earlier. If you watch it, you can see the entire route to the lake. The kiosk stood on the corner, and Gyllström's house was right behind it. According to a documentary, someone had coughed up blood around here. The documentary pointed out that Assmann had a bleeding disorder. He also rented out a cabin, which apparently was somewhere around here. There was also a well near the kiosk, and some say Gyllström filled it in shortly after the murders. There has been speculation that he hid something in it. I've read that someone was bringing flowers to the crime scene, supposedly the same kind that grew in Gyllström's yard. Those flowers stopped appearing after Gyllström died. Especially on the anniversary, people may still bring flowers in general. After I left, the area probably filled with people enjoying Lake Bodom's beautiful nature, its outdoor activities, and the Finnish summer. Just like the young campers 66 years earlier. Maybe someone brought flowers to the crime scene, or to their grave. Back then it was Pentecost Sunday, today it's an ordinary Friday. The trees have grown, ordinary and extraordinary days have passed. Lake Bodom has seen it all.